Children's book awards are everywhere, plastered on covers, shouted out in library newsletters, and used to build school reading lists. And yet, most of us aren't totally sure what they mean. So let's talk about it, because those little foil stickers aren't just decoration. They're shaping what gets published, what gets read, and what makes it into your classroom. I'm Nick, this is Dr. Cranky Pants Reads, and today we're pulling back the curtain on Children's Literature Awards. What they actually do, who decides what deserves a medal, and how you, as an educator, can use these shiny little gatekeepers without getting played by them. So let's start with the basics. Book awards aren't about celebration. They're about signal. They say, this book is excellent, this book is worthy, this book deserves your shelf space, your budget, and maybe even a spot in your curriculum. But here's the kicker. Awards aren't neutral. They reflect the values of whoever's sitting around that selection table. And when the same kind of books win, books that are polite, books that are palatable, books that are safe, then the other stories, the weird ones, the challenging ones, the culturally specific ones, don't get that spotlight. So when a book wins a major award, it gets more than a sticker. It gets a reprint, a classroom set, a place in the canon. And when it doesn't, it might not get read at all. So let's be clear. Awards have power, and with that power comes responsibility, or at the very least, scrutiny. You do not need to become the type of person who has a Newbery tattoo and collects Batchelder honorees like Pokemon cards. Although, if that is you, total and utter respect. But awards, they're still one of the most efficient tools in your teaching toolbox. Here's why. As an educator, you are busy. You are tired. You are making 800 decisions a day about what books to put in front of students. And award lists? They're pre-curated by people who care about quality, inclusion, and age appropriateness. They're often connected to lesson plans, author interviews, and ready-to-use discussion guides. They're sometimes the only books in the building that actually reflect your students' lived experiences. So no, you don't have to love every award winner. In fact, I hope you don't. The fun starts when you don't agree with the committee, because that's when you start asking better questions. Here's your new motto. Awards are tools, not rules. Don't teach to the medal, teach with the medal. Better yet, teach about the medal. Ask your students, why do you think this book won? What is this award valuing? Storytelling? Art? Cultural aspects? And what kinds of books keep winning? And what kinds of books never seem to? Because once kids start noticing patterns, they start questioning power. And when they question power in literature, they start questioning it everywhere else. And that's not just literacy. That's liberation. Use the Caldecott to talk about visual storytelling. Use the Newbery to talk about narrative voice. Use the Pura to talk about cultural identity and language. And use the gaps, the books that didn't win, to talk about who gets left out and why. This is how you raise readers who don't just consume stories, but think about them. So the next time you see a sticker on a book, don't just ask, is it good? Ask, good for who? And according to what values? And what conversations does this book open up or shut down in my classroom? Because awards aren't just marketing, they're maps. And you get to decide where they take you and where they fall short. Let the stickers start the conversation, and then teach your students how to finish it with insight, with critique, and yes, with a little bit of well-earned literary salt. Check out the page linked in the description or on the Canvas page for a breakdown of major awards, what they stand for, and how to use them to build a reading culture that's bold, curious, and maybe just a little rebellious.